Hello, you're most welcome. Thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in, and good evening. This is Status of Bunyoro in the diaspora, which is the voice of Banyoro in the diaspora, or from the diaspora as people want to call it. Mwebale muno inywena kutuninga in, and I hope you've had a lovely Sunday. It is Voice of Banyoro from the diaspora, supported by BKDA UK and Rise Up Community Inclusion. And it is Caroline Ajuna Kivuka Atenyi, the host of this show or the program. Just a little reminder that the program, it will be in two languages, that is Runyoro and English. And of course, Runyoro being the language spoken by the people from Bunyoro, that is found in the western part of Uganda, for those of you who do not know where Bunyoro is. And people from there are called Banyoro people. And of course, they speak Runyoro. With that reminder, allow me to say, before we play a song for you, I would like to remember our family members of BKDA who have lost their relatives during the week, the past week. And of course, we want to remember one of the eldest members of Banyoro Community, Omkiara Dina Rakaikara, the wife of the late Bishop Rakaikara, who also passed on the 6th of December, and she was laid to rest today in Bulindi. And she was a very important and an icon of Banyoro. And so we've really lost a great lady. We also lost a great reverend, also from the Diocese of Bunyoro Kitara. Actually, he was also a very important and an iconic reverend, and I'm sure most of you have seen his funeral. And I want to remember the relatives and friends of those people. And of course, in our own community, we've lost a very important person, an uncle to one of our main members of Bunyoro. He also was laid to rest yesterday. So I would like to remember all the members and our friends who are mourning for the loss of those important people in the community of Bunyoro, and may their souls rest in eternal peace. With that, I just want to say we are going to go off, and we will be back with a song. As I go off, I will leave you with a song. And of course, this is a copyright. It's reserved to the musician, and we're just playing it for the purposes of entertainment. I will see you back after the song, and please do enjoy it. Mutyo muno Abanyoro n'Abanyoro kati. I'll see you then, and friends, of course, I'll see you after the song.
Feel power. I come from Meya. Touch. We're blowing and you're not feelinga. Murapukema bakusinga mumbelivinga. Katandika kazana vezala obajoga. Ustailo yarumira sobora kuhitinga. Hatibuli hamunito bakurokinga. Buli kilabu zituni bakudansinga. Rapadiko haziwe bakokere nsonga. Baikirize batandikire no kupipinga. Ngoma hangoma matera ni musesinga. Wemba mupato kukosi ninya wininga. Hura tune harediye kuvaibinga kakitara FC nitwa bakusinga. Bari mupiyalo yetu kora yonebo tubatere ngoma nibazeta zitabo wakaya nyina yamani hura vibe ntini saba feke rapa mukila tuhaga warunye fulondi haziwe nsasa inesa chinga YouTube hona handa bamba bonga mbupapo rhyme zange ziba vere taratibu kalempo nirisanke biro bya mufebo nikaliba murunye kwenye kasupapo wispantina nkabalusha babu. Otabatina be mitima michafu baleke babazi wa matuga betefu ulaina waka iwe inakuba mubufa za wise bakutagiaga nkolo mwojo ona repa kasete kulire bakyabanja omwana kayire buwa kwenda kupakinga kwata musa utoleke wakayo inaho goroli muje kyonake tukikenge.
We are live. Sorry, I had not put on my microphone, but now I think you can hear me well. Just to remind you that today we are live on our YouTube channel, and that's where you can access us for those of you who do not have Facebook. And for people who are always following us via our Facebook channel page, please do go there and you will be able to access us via that Facebook page as well. So just to remind you, in case you would like to go to YouTube, you can find us there. And if you want to access us via our Facebook page, you can also access us via the Facebook page. Thank you so much for tuning in. And just before I invite our guest, I would just like to remind you that today our topic is the environmental status of Bunyoro, challenges and opportunities. And of course that falls under our theme of the Bunyoro we want, because environment is very important in our life. So we need to know something about the environmental status of Bunyoro and where Bunyoro is standing on that side of things. So today we are very privileged to be hosting a very special guest who is going to be telling us about the environmental status of Bunyoro. And he works with Makerere University, and he is an inclusive green economy specialist with the environment for development at Makerere University Center. And I'm going to ask my colleagues to and all the other things. So Akiki, Akiki Nompura. Yes. So to the live, I have already kind of done a little introduction about your profession, and I would like you to introduce yourself to our viewers. Obagambireho who you are, where you're from, your clan. Habukuba iraka lya Bunyoro from the diaspora is all about Bunyoro and people knowing our culture. So those are one of our objectives. So I would like you to let people know who you are. And then after that, we will continue with, of course, our discussion today, which is environmental status of Bunyoro and challenges and opportunities. Munakiki webale muno kuikiriza kujja kuba hairaka lya Bunyoro diaspora kandi nsemerere kuba nimbaza naiwe today muno. I hand over to you now.
Kalatenyi, our BKDA, our voice of Bunyoro UK, nintwala nyomugisa guno kusima na bataiba mwebale muno okunyeta kusobora kubagana n'abahuliriza baitu ebigambo bikwata na environment. Nina nyoni ntandika no kukuliki abantu abasobere kuraba mwaka gwa 2021 okutabaire mwangu kandi batahana muguno. Amulingo gumu nanyoni nkweteranizaho kusasira families ezirugiriwo abantu babo abanyaruganda okukira muno abakuru baitabo tufererwa abantu nkabasatu abamani muno abakuru nkaboko balize very reverend canon anangera mukiara bisopu Rwakaikara na abandi tusaba mukama abagumye. Nyowe nkakugambire ayibara lyange ninyowe Peter Bayenda Akiki ninzarwa Kigorobya Hoima kandi Hoima kunhonya kulire kandi nyasomera Hoima program primary kuika mu senior 6 kabisomera byona Hoima so Bunyoro ningimanya kurungi kandi kunyagenzere Makere University Nyarugayo Nyakyora nyasomesaho Hoima specifically Mandela Senior Secondary School Hoima hamuna St Andreas Cows College no bwire bunni ngendayo nkakugambire ninkora na Makere University nka omusomesa wa economics School of Economics kandi amulingo nugo gumu bakatandikaho a center ya environment tueta EFD Environment for Development Makerere Center which is funded by SIDA yakatandika 2019 tinyowe bampobginanizwa wokuba inclusive green economy specialist. Inclusive green economy nikyo murunyoro ngo kuturabantu kora project zone kuturabantu kora kintu kiona twinakura tu balancingire environment na the other needs of economics. Ninzarwa nkakungambire Kigorobya baitu ninzarwa omukikaki ya abasingo hamuna abagai nyakaga urunyoro karunande umurugungo tugamba nyasansia no nyakayaga yes umusingo na nyakayaga kandi ndi married to Munyoro kati yes.
That very beautiful introduction. Of course, Sinko tugambire oba musingo kandi nozarwa Kigorobya Hoima kandi niho kulire biro bya byono bimazire oli mu Hoima kandi waba no musomesa mu one of the best some of the best schools in Bunyoro, that is Mandela and is it Saint Andrea. So we are really privileged to be hosting a man like you, a voice of Bunyoro from the diaspora. Nkabulinko bungambire tusemerere muno. Without wasting a lot of time to kwenda or straight away tutandike ku discussing because our discussion is for 1 hour. discussing about this topic, environmental status of Bunyoro, nkobobalize oli inclusive green economy specialist university yamani ekira yamani mu Uganda yona nawekyo oli muntu wamani muno kandi muhiwa amagezi nawekyo tumanyiro genda kuba notusomesa notugambira ebintu bya environment. Hati topic enu, I just want you to give us a background of this topic and about the environment status basically now in Bunyoro, and thereafter we will see how the discussion will start flowing. Otiomu now Kiki, let me hand over to you. Otuhemu aka background ke environment in Bunyoro.
Webale muno ate environment mu Runyoro nikyo ebinyakutwehunguranizi our surrounding new environment bitu bitwehunguranizi what surrounds us. So ebintu nka ebibira forests, amaizi, itaka, ebisaru, ebinyansi, so ebisoro, egyo new environment. Bunyoro nkakugambirege oyina bahuriza bayingi njya ku mixing bagambirege ndumi ziri ibiri Runyoro no Rujungu. Obunyoro ebairemo mu regions mu Uganda ezibaire nzino zikyali no mugisa okuba na environment yayo ne kyaliho etakabaire kusisikara muno nka regions ezindi. Abo kuba Bunyoro niye baine kyali region ina two natural forests, tropical forests, that is the Budongo forest na Bugoma forest. Nebindi ebitaito nka Kibaloko tuinayo ebibira bitaito, Masindi, na Kigorobya. Baitu mulingo tukurora opimiro myaka nka 10 nke no rabwire buno ngo tugenda maiso no kumaraho ebibire ebyo. Nkabwire buno gakusanga twarake okuroleraho ira buli kwarugaga Kigorobya no genda nka Hoima waitanage bibira bindi. Wire buno toina kibira kiona kyo kusanga maybe okusangamo abandi ebiti basibyaire pine babyaire mu pine baitu bibira byona byabaire mutu clearingire ko genda kasene tosa utalengera ngo haliye kibira. Ko genda Bugoma tugitayirire tulimu tukusara embaho tutema na emiti. Ko genda Masindi tutemere emiti bire tukatandike no kutema emiti ya mutawuno omu ntwenda kusima abantu abagenzere mu koti kwemereza. Then tuina abantu batemere ebibira nibenda itaka ly'okuyikaramu na itaka ly'okulima kira muno kulima etaba buli kaba kulima etaba hati kandi abantu nibatema okwenda kulima ebikaijo. Kogenda Bunyoro okusanga yo tuina rivers emigira yaitu yamani, tuina kafo ne sara mu Hoima ogenda Hoima no giraba mu no genda Masindi no giraba. Tuina Albert Nile kokuba no genda Machizone Falls, no Machizone Falls, no yongere no kuga nkabulisa bakira kweta yo para no sanga tubombeke no rutindo rwa manao. Tuina grasslands, tuina nyanja yaitu muitanzige, tuina ebisaru bindi bintabalizo bitwina tuina muzizi nkuse nebinde ebyo. Nebinyansi grasslands, tuine ekikonko atimanyate nyoso kota manyire ekikonko bate ekikonko kisangwa no genda bulisa butiyaba no gya kwika butiyaba orugire biso no rore ekikonko kandi Abanyoro ni sawa tugende gentu kyakaro no twara family ni zirora batuombekeire akahanda atikali kakeka no twara esahemu yonka kuruga Hoima kuika Wanseko omuhanda guli gwa Kolas no sora kurore nyanja no rane ekikonko ekyo. So then a park, tuina park, machizo mini Kabalega National Park tuina nanka zindi reserves Kaboya Wildlife Reserve, Bugoma Central Forest Reserve, Kagombe Central Forest Reserve nebindi. So tubaye tuli region eri blessed mu bintu bya environment. Yes, egyo niyo background kusobora kuhabwireho. Yes.
Webale muno to background egyo nebigambo na all the sites ezo tunemingira. I hope our viewers are listening to some of those that are not really known or popular, known to people in Bunyoro. Baitu ni bajja kuba ni ba followinga this program, and I think they will go and actually visit them. Hati, what is the current status? Katutandike na one of the most important forests that people have been fighting for. Status environment Bunyoro no tuinamwe kizibu kia Bugoma iwenka environmental specialist. What are you telling us about what's happening right now?
Atenyora nyiraka antakayizire ha kikagezo kyawo kankyole kakenyuma ngabeho emigaso ya environment. Environment tukolera migaso mbayita kibalizo wao kamaze nkyole bwangu ekintu kikikira muno kituiha mu environment nuwo bwomezi okwa biro bya nyuma nkunira abantu mukiboine biro bya covid kuyabaire kaire nka hanu Kampala mu Uganda mukarora costs za oxygen milioni 2 10 zingaha baito ati juko oxygen niyo tukolesa buli kiro atura mulingo bakuseera baito oxygen tugiha mitege tuhera busa. So I think mukurora importance ya environment. So ekyo etu oxygen kane kyane etwara carbon dioxide. So kakusanga bakuvuga imotoka bikaikuru fumes za factories ebyo na environment nesobora kubitwara kubirya kane tuhamu oxygen. Ne tuha emirimo gamba nka abafumu bafuna mibazi bagiya mu bibira n'abantu abandi abajanja bisa twakwese traditional medicine mbayiha medicine ezo kuruga mu Kisaka kandi ntuihayo nebisoro bya Kisaka byo mu Kisaka tukuzire ntubiriya mbalize medicine then na culture heritage yaitu neruga mu bibire. So hati kyora kyambizize obuzibu amano between buli environment mu rujungu tugeta public good nikyo kiba kintu kukibaho aho kiba kya buli omu n'obuzibu twina kutukubana ekibiranka Bugoma ekizibu kya kioha mukama wakyo Uganda ekateko kitongole kibeta National Forest Authority then tubana na Wildlife Authority nayo Uganda Wildlife Authority. So ebyo nibo bahayire bujanizwa bwo kulinda ebibira then na nebisoro baitu tuina n'abantu kinyomu abaine bibira byabo ekibira nikibaha haitaka lyaye ogo muntu kwa kubana ekibira kyaye aina buwire muntu amataka gaitu gacheke muno ogarengaranize na mateka gandi gamanka ga Rwanda I think na Sweden, I think na States nigo gansomeremu ngo nka Rwanda for example gonzeno ina mutigwa muzigati tosobora gutema otafunire rukusa oina ku applyinga ogabe reasons then niwo uteme na Sweden na hand nikyo kurora baina bibira byabo ka Sweden bibira bijwire bujura itwe hano muntu agumya gatema akyo no mukibira abani batamu bibira byaitu nibatema mitinka kuba kwenda. So hati hakizibukia Bugomeke kikaija ownership yaba defining ekibira kiri kya BKK. So Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom ya lizingaho square kilometers abiri nemu nezirizingira Hoi Masuga yasaba rukusa munema nema yabayikiriza ku clearing square kilometers 9 nizo nema yayikirize clearing baitu hatobuzi ubwizira abantu bandi bakolesa chance igikutayira kibira kandi tuhura abantu rora ekibira kitemerwe twarora abantu basazire mbao nati bakiyagenda maiso no kusara kandi bamumbali abantu bakoto mu government hamuna mukama so hatekyo oli kwakuba agabire ekintu kiyaye iwe toina kyamaani kyokusobola kugamba maybe oyizire okamusasula okamupasetinga nikwo akakulekera. So then n'amateeka gaitu kuba gakyeke gatakusobola kuprotectinga baitu nyo nkunihira tubaire tukora ebyo byona okuba tubaire tutakaboine muno omugaso gwa environment. Mugaso gwa environment oba bibira constitutinga ebibira nkakumbalizege abantu abandi tumanya mugaso gw'ekibira ekyo kwika kukirugaho kandi kukirugaho kikyozaho kisabutanguha. So nikyo ekyo nka environment for development hano tugeza okugamba abantu ngo actually ntusobora kufuna sente nyingi muno mu kibira ekyo nokira kuteekawo bikaijo tuta. So ebyo niyo tujja kuba ntubazaho later on baitu tikiri Bugoma yonka kandi teriho masuga yonka ekukiliaringa Bugoma arona abantu abandi tinja kubabaza baitu bamanyirwe na abantu babulijjo babulikiro nabo baliyo nabo ni basiisa ebibira. Then tuna ekizuki abantu baitu abayiruka maybe obulemo ne bayiruka bulemo kuruga Kongo kubayijja batayira bibira byaitu nibo ba clearing ebibira bikira wingi mu Kigorobya Masindi na Hoima. Then abandi abaruga mu kiweka bindi mu Uganda. So baitu nibakolese chance yaitu ya kuba twina amateeka gatali gagumu muno kana itu abantu takufayo na aba leaders baitu takufayo ku protecting.
Otugambire causes za environment, I mean opportunities or environment ekie kutuha wabitugambira okutugambira hati ebizibu ebitu why people are causing the reason of environmental degeneration. Hati ogambire ekintu kya kutema emiti n'obutaba na lozi wabazaho abantu abakwija abafuruki abakwija nabo nibongera kutema. Hati inywe nkaba environmentalist iwe nk'omuntu asomere akusomesa ebya environment kiki ekimu kukolera Abanyoro kumakinga sure bamanyire opportunities zine zokurugaho otugambireho ntaito oxygen employment of course tourism abokubebe bibira byona bikuleta tourism nebindi. Hati abantu mukubakolera ki, what are you doing to educate the population about the causes and those few opportunities that we could have actually if we took the environment seriously?
Ego atenye webale muno for that question. Yes, nka kungambire actually kukongereza okiyogambire ebintu ebindi bikuongereza kusisa ubuhangwa bwaitu buli obunaku abantu bataine sente zikumara tikikira kuanguha. Actually environmental quality mu rujungu tugamba is directly proportional to the level of income. So omuntu kwabane sente nyingi abanayenda abe mu environment nungi na wogenda hoima mwaito karora amaka gainaho okagenda okabungayo ojja kusanga haliyo miti compound ya eneri nungi kogenda mu kuli amaka gande gatali kurungi no sangana mutiba taina hona hombire bitu akira kubasanga mbaina akiri ebinyasi byetororoire baitu miti taro miti bagitemera makara bakuze makara biro bya nyuma obuliso kwa omuntu ayabaira hairo omuntu license asale miti yona ya buliso kwa kolema makara baitu kubata abantu batandikire gera ne bakuituka kuba kiulireho ikibakirwanisa license egibasubura gisazamu. So itwe nikyo tugeza okora our mandate eri kusomesa itwe kwetu kusomesa kueleza abantu kuhitura abantu amagezi n'okumanya nikyo tukora itwe. So kugamba abantu wewe nkakungambirege ngo tukusobora kuba nekibira kino actually tukihamwe esente nyingi kira kihaho ikyo kubanza kyogambire kya tourism omuntu nasobora kuombeka lodge oba hotel hagati wekibira gamba nkamudongo nojja na family yawe nogenda no humurayo oba okuhandika ka PhD egyo oba masters dissertation nojja nogenda ikara budongo ku mukibira no handiko kwa hakunaka hakufuka kurunge bitekerezo reno kyoraho humwireho. So ezona zito opportunities oba nogenda mu park Machidon Falls oba haina park batugamba kuti tizikumara Machison Falls no yombeko ekichweka ky'abantu akusobola agenda bakegonzayo bakegonza aho sente zikuba nyingi oba abantu basobola kora ekituweta ebintu biri friendly na bibira gamba nko kulinda enjoki beekeeping n'ebindi ebyo tusobola kupromotinga industry yaitu ya local medicine niziruka mu bibira so ebintu biri bingi muno abantu bakuba nibaija kuturora batuletere sente nibabyama mu hotel gaitu nibagura ebintu byaitu bitulimire abana baitu nibafuna emirimu then ekindi kiroho ky'amaani kitukana tugamba nikyo kitakurora kitateeka mu value ngo nikyo tangene bagamba tuboine value ya oxygen bire abantu bali mu intensive care so ekibire kikubani tutuyamba mu rujungu twakwese regulating our environment abantu timanyira bamparo abantu bagenda kabale kugenda kabale no rura difference baita yo kurura bwire boni tandegane isiskara abantu kuba batandike nawe miti bagitemere nabo katuba kabale wa at least bagenzere mu agroforestry batandika okubyara ene mitendi pine na mikaratusi actually nibo bakusinga kufune sente ezikuyamba kusomesa abana babo baita kugenda kabale ohura environment ehindukire baiti twehandura nka Kampala gachuchu biki echuche gyendi kakusanga ngoma nekibira nikisobora kunywa chuche ekyo then depending on natural conditions bintu bya AC biko bitakwetagisa so itu tugezaho okusomesa abantu kiki mukusikiba kusobora akora nekindi kyo muno tu encouraging aba leaders baitu okugezaho kurora tubingire obunaku omumaka kuturabinga obunaku mumaka abantu bakaba n'ensimbi zikumara tibajja genda mu kibira kwa abantu abandi bagenda mu kibira abwa akusera yakasente naye hayo miti nayo kya makara oba natunde miteki then tuina ekizibu kya planning aiza majuga itu amuntu nombeka nayombeka mu kisaru nkabundo sorti zero kugenda hoima kankolese example kya hoima mwaitu kugenda hoima mu bisaru bya muhoima byono osanga nibogezaho motoka ate kuba kogezaho motoka ebitaka byona bikuruga motoka nibitaha omugera nibejuza mugero ogumugera niguoma oba mugera amaizi itaka iryo nirigenda omunyanja ekitweta silting nikyo kurora biri ebyo tubayina abantu bane bagamba enyanja ijuire ito mwaitu wanseko genzerege wanseko ababaire bagenzero wanseko obwire bwanyuma obu 2016 okagenda yobwire buno sakubura almost kilometers nkaura 5 I mean meters I'll find out baitu ngona katala akabaire ka wanseko na kakalibwa ira maize kakatwara kugenda bugo igo amajugona gakatwara habu wake okwa abantu itaka enyanja tugijuize mu itaka habu kulima tukulima tulimire mu bisaru byakoraga byasenge ejaga itu no tukulima tubitwaye tusensere mu itaka tuombekeremo amaju so ebyo byona then ebintu byokubinga abantu mataka abantu ko binga mataka mugaiga kujja kabinga abantu mataka bakuyirukira mu bibira aba bakuyirukira mu bisaru so then abantu butamanya nikyo nkugambira butamanya abantu batamanya umuti kugubaho nagamba umuti kuba emitebe etahanu nyo ntaina ho kuika nagana gitema so itu tugeza kuhereza abantu amahure trying to encourage trying to train people trying to inform people on the importance of environment of protecting environment but above all not necessarily conserving we are encouraging what we call sustainable use of environment sustainable use that ekibira kibao tusobora kikolesa okufune okugaigahara atali kikalo ntukirora burora abantu baitu bali banaku no let's use it for development
hati to yes we bale mnok to explaining it because omulingo tuinamo obwire buke ebintu bino tujja kuba ntubigenda mu deep in another time by two people believe intinyu aba economists the environmentalists people aba ndakubaza hale environment you're more concerned about animals ebibira ebisoro than human beings hati mukugamba tutateme miti abantu mukubagamba baikale mu green tibaina ho kubyama so how are you going to tell someone aleme kutema emiti atayinaho kubyama nk'obugambira abantu babayibingira omataka ayina agenda asere na mbirala abyama hati inywe abantu mukuba educating abata nti actually tukwenda abantu babonabone but tukwenda mumanye kubalansinga.
Wandeta kurungiha egyo niyo role yaita actually ya EFD, environment for development. Atali environment yabuna ku conserving ekintu kibaire nikiletera muno actually one of the reasons why Africa is undeveloped and poor is because they don't exploit their resources. So if you don't exploit your resource, then you will not develop. We need to exploit the resources, but sustainably. Sustainably. Sustainably means you are taking into consideration the future generation. Nikiombalize ekintu kya planning. Kugenda Nairobi here. Nairobi, there is a forest in Nairobi, and the national park within Nairobi city. How did they do it? So we can benchmark. The whole thing is about planning. And this is what we are having. We can have kijuki mukikoto kiraira bulomuna afunamu uburumu bwaibu kumara na bamuandi. We can expand upwards vertically so that we protect the environment. So those are some of the things we are trying to encourage our leaders. When we expect like the Lord Mayor of Hoima and his committee to come up with a very good plan to win areas really planned very well so that they are able to protect the nature. And then we have, say, green city. You can imagine the green city, how much money shall we earn? By example, abantu abakunaka abakugeze motoka mukisaro. Can't we get a place and as a city authority, can't we take up these people tukabombekera a washing bay abakaija actually kubantu baaninga ona akasente as a city tukabayiha mu bisare? Can't we do that? So the whole thing is planning, is educating people and protecting, having clearly defined boundaries. And also what we call property rights. Property rights be well defined. The boundaries of Ogoma are not. So who knows? So these are some of the things we have been talking about. But these people who are saying they have no money can be taught to depend on Kibira, for example. Nibasobora kwihayo hani kusanga aba niba keepinga beekeeping oba nibayihayo emibazi nibatunda oba nibakora ha farm lodge yomuntu ayombekere mugayiga oba gamba atinkanye ba BKDA ni muija ni muombeka hoteli yanyu Bugoma ni muemployinga abantu baitu nibabaho nibalira hoteli. So these are some of the things we are coming up with. For us, EFD, we are a bit different from other activists. We are promoting sustainable utilization, not necessarily conservation, because we need to depend on resource so that we need jobs, we need the goods, but sustainably, and it is possible. You have seen, those of you have moved, you have seen, personally I've gone somewhere. I was
Hati. Esenta yanyu ya Makerere otugambire mu kupromotinga sustainability, making sure environment matching with development. Haliyo some funding that abantu abakwenda, I think for example people who are on small land, people who have been chased from land, people who have nowhere to live but they want to live, of course they are part of the environment, because the environment, without us human beings, the environment would not be there. Is there any money or any support you're giving abantu ba Bunyoro kuba ebo kumanya nti kambe na akataka kake nsobole kutunga environment ku helping environment to be better while I'm also earning? Abakutema emiti mubagambire tujja kuba ekinu nakino omurabyale emiti after mutemero muti. How are you helping people to develop?
Yes, yes, this is really a tough question.
Otugambire bullet points. Abokuba turayigenda hakuhumura.
Yes, it was EF Center. As I told you, our mandate is largely to train policy issues, policy engagement, training leaders, training government officials, training people on how they can use the environment to develop. We can also give them information on where to get the funds because funds are available. World Bank has been giving us money for environmental development. World Bank has been giving us money through the Ministry of Water and the Environment. And then also, I think you are aware that the tourism resources are shared. People, abantu bali haine bibira, bali haine tourism sites. The Ministry of Tourism usually share with them revenues, and they can use these revenues to develop themselves. But for us, as EFDMAC Center, we are not engaged. Our mandate for now doesn't include giving people directly money, but we can give them knowledge and also direct them where to get the resources for funding. But also encourage them, or as I've told you, encouraging them how they can use this environment to develop. The government is already through its other arms is encouraging people, the growth of people through some of their programs they have, like the Mioga, Operational Creation, and others. So it create because once you empower people with the knowledge, kakusanga abantu abamanyira omugaso gw'okulinda environment busawo mutaasa kutema kibiraho abantu bakyuye ku mobilizinga bonka tusobola kutema goza noina battalion zingaza mamahe. So that is awareness we are on, but also training people on how to benefit from environment and get out of poverty.
So we are now going to go off for a little break. Tugenda kutera ya kazina baitu tujja kuija otugambire how Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom is spearheading kusolving issue ya environment omuki na problems eziri caused by Bunyoro. I think that will be very important because they are our leaders kandi kintu kiabugo makinu nabo bakirimu abo kuba they own part of it. So tugenda kugenda hakuhumura and then we'll come back with this question of how Bunyoro spearheaded by BKDA Kitara Kingdom can solve this problem and increase effects to increase green cover around Bunyoro. Abanyoro na Banyoro Kati and friends of Bunyoro, we will return after the break with Akiki explaining to us the way Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom can help with the issue of keeping green the whole of Bunyoro. Mutyo muno, we will be back and enjoy this song.
Oh
Bulere bossy, Baxi Sabire, Baxi Sabire, Baxi Sabire, Bakuhandika Hamai, Ivana Gaija Bakijukenjale Guide, Iwe Baleke, Bakwija Kukwijuka, Wasanga Gani Barok, Ukuloto Tajikura, Dorayo Gipuzire, Wasanga Gani Basera, Ngwe Motoko Tajikura, Dorayo Gipuzire, Wasanga Gani Barok, Ngo Bukenyi Bukuleme, Dorayo Nababaisire, Wasanga Gani Bagamba, Ngwa Bana Bawe Balemwe, Dorayo Basingwire, Nebindi Bikwicha, Ikiriza Bikwicha, Byawe Bikwicha, Nebindi Bikwicha, Ebirungi Bikwicha, Nebindi Bikwicha, Ebyange Bikwicha, Nebindi Bikwicha, Jimpaye Wase, Ebyange Bikwicha, Nebindi Bikwicha, Baxi Sabire, 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 Baxi
We all enjoy that song. So mwebale muno akazina kako kutusisa wire nikako ako mukuru ogwo nkomumanyire wali mu Igema band, and we really appreciate their work and for playing for us that amazing song. So before I invite back omukuru Mr. Ntakesere Akiki kugaruka program atugarukire mu bikaguzo bina abantu bakaguzo mu chat. I just want to read a few of the questions, and I think Akiki urabano soboro bihandike, then we will be answering them as we go along. Tusigaize obudakika buke turugeha air. So Akiki wange oloho ha program. Yes, thank you. Welcome back. Akazina ngira nayo kakunyumiri. Amina. Hati tungenda hana roha abantu abaka
Start.
teacher roho hanu Akiki Kasaija Bugoma. I think everyone wants you to talk about Bugoma, but Bugoma is a big deal, man. And Maureen Rugona, chairperson of BKDA, thank you so much for tuning in. And he's saying, Bambi, thanks for the information on environment and tourism in Bunyoro. Welcome on Voice Media UK. Belly Wobsoboza Gambire. We know the people destroying Bugoma forest, but the influence and connection is beyond everyone. I hope that you will also be able to explain more about that. I hope you know. And then Arali Kitona Akugamba, public good is finishing up our natural resources in Bunyoro. Oba hamanyisizeki yao tinkietegereize baitu yayongera yaskaguza politics plays a big role in making. Do we have in Uganda an active green political party? If yes, how active are they? Then another question is, what plans do ADF, that is your center, has for the next 5 years to protect our natural resources in terms of investing money into the local community? At the moment, nibye kaguze binyina hano ha chat ya YouTube, Facebook page, baitu nibaija kuba mpora nibagetinga used to finding us on YouTube. So next time probably we'll get more questions. Otyo muno akiki garukamu bukaguzi obwo buliha obulukambire, and then we'll continue with our discussion. We have a few minutes left.
Okay, atenyu webale muno. Nja kutandika n'ekikagizo kilompa wizige tutagenzere ha break ya kazina. Yes, BKK rugireyo, even ha ensonga ya Bugoma, omukuru Katikiro arugireyo, not explaining the standpoint of BKK kandi tumusima. Harone kagizo kibairo haho abantu bakusisa Bugoma ntubamanya right influence naki. Yes, ekinyebere kubagamba one of the things bikusisa environment yaitu arokitweta de muludungu tubeta untouchables and untouchables, but also the land rush, a global land rush, where big companies are running away from other countries to our countries here where the land laws are weak. The property rights are not well defined, and people are also ignorant. People are poor. That if I want my environmental impact IIA to be passed, I only come and distribute 50,000 or 30,000 to the community members, and all of them will say yes, remove the forest. So poverty is a big role, playing a big role in destruction, but also the untouchables. And these untouchables usually thrive on corruption and weak laws, the weak legal framework, the weak institutions. If institutions are weak, but we can support these institutions if we have an informed public. If our public is informed of their right, for example, the Constitution of Uganda provides all Ugandans a right to a quality environment, and therefore they have to protect their environment. The Kabumba Karugayo natusaba kusimba kubyara emiti. I think we can kutwara umuranga gwa Kabumba tubyara emiti, but kubyara emiti is not enough. Aro abantu batayina itaka barabyara nkaha. Tuboine NFN advertising reserves zayo, ne advertising abantu bakwenda okubyara emiti ha reserves zazo, katibe conditions ziba nyingi. Maybe if we can form some groups, we can be able to raise the money and we get that land and plant some green cover, which we can benefit as the community, but also individually in the form of income. You know, we need the trees because I told you we need the timber. We need
talk about the green cover. What do you mean? Because that was the question that we are going to tackle after the break. What is the green cover? People may need to know what it is.
Yes, green cover is simply usually it is taken to mean trees, having more forest, increasing on the forest cover in simple terms, and also the savanna, the grass, and the grass wind. But on that, we are also encouraging our homes to have fruits. Fruits are also part of the green cover. If a home has emiti etaano ya jaka, emiti ebiri ya emiyembe, emiti esatu ya michungwa, emiti ya avocado. So one of you get a green cover. The benefits of having green cover, but also omwana naali yaho kayembe, naali yaho akananasi, naali yaho avocado, guavas. Then also 3, you sell. Wile bunu emihanda Bunyoro bagikozere akatale bakusanga mukano ina avocado zawe ne bazigura. Oba nozitwara butiya no tunda no sobora gure bitabu by'abana. We have seen it all erugireyo. For example, bundi bugye ko bakutunda cocoa. So we can also plant cocoa. Abaina chance, abaina itaka. But BKK can also give us some of their land. Nibaha Banyoro bakwesobora babyaleme emiti, babyaleme emiyembe, because we are seeing that miyembe has avocados and what. That green kind of can be promoted. But also having green gates. Abantu bibini bakombeka bikomera, so bikomere ebintu bikarejinga bya green byaleho bimuli oba ebimera bino bimera niba green ka some gates in Sweden and also UK and also in Kampala some gates. When you go to Nakasero you can see some of those gates we are talking about. But also turabantu inayo mukoro nkagwa Mpango. Before we go to Mpango, some of activities can be towards one, causing awareness, but also promoting planting trees or increasing on green cover and tourism. Birthdays, weddings, baptism, we can make them. BKK can instruct it. It's abantu bayo negamba we murabaga na birthday ati mu byalo muti muzigato omu wedding mumazire mpeta leka abagole babyalo omuti. Through that and starting from the home we can promote green.
Akiki oja kunganyira otugambiroho, because we are running out of time, otugambiro how BKK can help solve this problem and increase the green cover. Hati tugenda kumalira, just give us environmental opportunities in Bunyoro or summarizing tusobole kumalira abantu bamanyire the opportunities that we have when we play the environment safe.
Yes, attain nga kugambira environment kandi nkusimire muno kutwa ka chance ka environment. Abantu benda kuha environmental issues, even education issues, we benda politics all the time, but I really appreciate opportunities ziri nyingi tubantu zibazaho. Eyo kubanza ekirayo eri ya tourism. Let's use our environment for more tourism. Abantu bino batandikire kwega okuchakara. Lekati batero bichweka bakusobora kuchakaliramu. We can do it as a team or as a group, and then reduce the cost, because we have seen the existing hotels, for example, are very costly. So if we can come up and we make it cheap for our people, many will be there. Then yagambana medicine, traditional medicines, which are on demand, by the way, which can solve our problem. So through tourism, we can be able to make a lot of jobs, many jobs, and also fight poverty, and also create employment at the same time conserving our environment. After tourism, the quality of life will increase, and we also have the chance of having a green city, because Banyoro is one of the regions still has some natural green cover. The word is natural. Let's forget these artificial planting. So we have a lot of advantage to take from that. We can build a green city in Uganda, and you can imagine how that one will sell us. We add it from the green belt. Bunyoro was known as a green belt of the country earlier on because of the forest cover we had during colonial times and the rest. We have our parks, we have our falls, Machizoni Falls. We are blessed area. I don't see a reason why Bunyoro should be poor. So we only need to come up and exploit these chances. I thank you so much.
Mr Bayenda Peter Akiki, webale muno kuija kutusomesaho a little bit about the environmental status of Bunyoro, kandi nitusaba next time tujja kweta oyongere ku discussinga okutugambira way forward ebintu tulabikola tuta from now that you've given us this background. What do we as Banyoro got to do to move forward in the environmental aspect of our region, because environment is important kandi itwe nkaba abaikiriza tukamanya environment right from day one. Baliganye na nyenda kukaguza yakakaguza baitunja akakaguza next time obora aboli believer how comes mukutugamba mbwe bibira tukubitema nito abakuleta problemu no ha kakahaba yo flood. That question, it was going to raise a lot of discussion, but we will discuss it next time. And I think we need to know why it happened then and why as itwenkaba believers we think environment is important. Hati ninija kukusaba otuhe details zawe how people can approach you, because you're into the scholar the sector kusomesa abantu ebintu bya environment. People may want to get in contact with you or tugambire you can help us give information that we need, which people to go to if we need to do business ebintu nkebyo. There are some funding, so tukwenda ohabantu bayitu abakwenda getting to environmental businesses obahe contacts dawe tugambire how people can get in touch with you quickly, and then we go off air.
Yes, I'll attend you very much for that. Na chikagize kyogambire, but the other one was a punishment. And by the way, environment aiteganira. When we go ahead and destroy environment, will show us. You have seen during amaizi kuga Lake Victoria kugeyongera, people lost homes. Nkugambire bulisha abantu have lost their hotels, have lost abaire ba encroaching. So Mother Nature does not forgive. It does not forgive. You destroy it, it will repay you. So nkakumbagambire mukutandika Peter Bayenda, Mugungu, kandi mulingo gumu ba vice chairperson wa Bagungu Community Association. En akanamba kange ka simu ngira kamukonka musanju 3 anana 3 24 13. Bate kimanyire Bayenda Peter ni manywa nkugambire nyikaire mu Bunyoro muno. I am like a household name. So I think it is very easy through friends, through myself, through my former students to reach to me. And I always, it is my joy to serve Bunyoro. There is no joy I feel like when I serve my Banyoro community. It is one of the reasons when I finished teaching, in Makerere, I went to teach in Hoima. People were asking me, why are you going there? Because I was already teaching, by the way, in one of powerful Kampala schools. But I left and rushed to Hoima. That is me. I get a lot of satisfaction by serving my community.
Email
pbayenda@gmail.com.
Thank you so much. Webale muno Mr. Peter Bayenda Akiki kuba hamunaitu hana Voice of Bunyoro. As I said, we will get in touch with you to come and teach us more about the environment kandi otutungireyo n'abasomesa ba makerera bandi abanyoro abakumanya ebintu bya environment. We will be back again next week same time 6:30. We will be accessing our programs through our YouTube channel Voice Media UK. And for those of you who are not on don't want to access us via YouTube, you can go on our Facebook page. We will also still be there. And mwebale muno inywe na tuning in. I'm sure other people have gotten lost along the way, not knowing where we are today, but I'm sure next week everything will be fine. Mwebale muno kutuhuliriza kandi. Thank you so much for continuing to follow us on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Mukama tukusima muno mwe inywe na batu encouraging every Sunday, and I am saying we are going to go off air, but please keep COVID regulations real, because COVID-19 is happening and it is still affecting many people. Mukama alinde. Will be back again next week. Tukubalekera kazina kanu timanyire which one my team has chosen. Bye to, I'm sure you will enjoy it. We'll see you again next week, and God bless you all. Bye.
Plankton treatment production, Crib King of Entertainment Station, Crib Island Records, your danger. Better tell them this is highness. Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima. Tunywa albatani nyamunywa gensoha, tukalemera tulinka akabakaya, omukitu kinuwa bamu batweta tata, mwensonga bamanya hatwarugire, titugira na bichabu hali tubyama, kazi bensimbi tubareze mpapura, nko musana bulikira tukera, ensonga kuba kwa ure nsimbi. Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima. Ano muhoima tunyumirwa tukeisa gonze mande, chupa oboni twegulira, komugezi wena tosemba nakyo mukuzi dubuda oba munekebe, nirwo rubuga mu Bunyoro rutagira chuchu gonze bisabuke betonyere, akasente twekolera tusasure misoro sifizi nebinda. Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima. Amatainyo mukama bukama itatunywa bongo, bali hafuka itatulyo mkatali, na landi lodi bwatongezo saba ya kasuni omala no kwasa, tuli bakozi ya mirimo tukera, na bakifesi bakairukayo, hoima maramiso nagoga kenyira ino buju bwabakuma bamu babweyokeza, kale nyumiro bundi nensekesa bwotagyanguhira, ekwanguhira. Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima. Murweta rubuga niho twakulire, niho twasomeire, niho tuziyese, niho turabira twepuka matoko wabata twendeza nibagamba twepanka. Industry kagigura kudu irukuku karoko ijo mugabo oina waka, mke hayo kabikiro musesero mumeini munu tukeisa bulikiro, bubuswete ndanga muntu tekoro sasule mpapura telekyo keisezayo. Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima, Oikaranga, Yikara hoima, Orukanga, Nduga hoima. Tunywa albatani nyamunywa gensoha, tukalemera tulinka akabakaya, omukintu kinuwa bamu batweta tata, mwensonga bamanya hatwarugire, titugira na bichabu hali tubyama, kazi bensimbi tubareze mpapura, nko musana bulikira tukera, ensonga kuba kwa ure